Hello, everyone. Welcome to European at Heart, a podcast created and hosted by a young European ambassador in the European Union.
Your hosts today are Virginia and Robin, YAs from Italy. We are here to introduce and discuss one of the most amazing countries of the Eastern Partnership in our podcast program, Azerbaijan.
We're excited to welcome our Azerbaijan colleagues and fellow young European ambassador who will tell us more about the country. But first and foremost, let's share a little bit of background information with Virginia. Virginia, please go on.
Azerbaijan is a country of Eastern Transcaucasia. It occupies an area that fringes the southern flanks of the Caucasus Mountains, and it is bounded on the north by Russia, on the east by the Caspian Sea, on the south by Iran, and on the west by Armenia, whilst on the northwest by Georgia. Its capital city is Baku.
Thank you for that, Virginia. That is very informative. Would you like to start asking questions to our counterparts?
Yes, let us begin this journey in Azerbaijan. Jala and Sabina, please introduce yourself to our audience. Jala, would you like to introduce yourself first?
Hello, my name is Shava and I'm 24 years old. My major is international relations and currently enrolled in European and global politics at ESPOL, Lille Catholic University in France. Apart from my studies, I would like to say that I'm in love with art, music, and several sports, such as riding a bike, playing basketball, and volleyball also. But I would say that I have one and only passion, that's dancing, especially contemporary dancing, and I'm in love with that type of dancing.
Whoa, that's so interesting to know. I'd love to play basketball with you. And such an interesting trajectory of studies as well. Very well done, Jala. And tell me, what sort of career path would you like to pursue in your foreseeable future? Tell us.
Thank you so much, Robin, asking for this question. Since my very childhood, I have been interested in diplomacy and international relations, so pursuing my career path in IR, especially European affairs, would be best for me and best for my further career advancement.
Wow, now over to you, Sabina. Tell us more.
Hello, I'm Sabina. I'm 25 years old. During my bachelor's degree, I majored in linguistics at Azerbaijani University of Languages in Baku and at the Grand Valley State University in Michigan, the United States. Well, I got two master degrees in neurolinguistics, one at Khazar University in Baku and another at Birkbeck University in London. Also, I'm the alumna of two prestigious scholarships, Global UGIRD from the US government and Chevening from the UK. Well, I'm passionate about studying the human brain. I truly love linguistics, and it's amazing how much we can achieve by using language. In my free time, I'm involved in volunteering activities. I support ongoing YA activities, actively participate in trainings, and I help others in their project implementations. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Whoa, that's such a great academic background, Sabina. And also to you, Jala. Thank you so much for your great introductions.
I second that, Robin. That is so cool. Now I would like to start with some questions and bring our listeners for a brief journey in Azerbaijan. Indeed, I have so many questions on Azerbaijani culture. Just off the top of my head, can you please tell us a phrase in Azerbaijan? Jala, would you like to do it first?
Okay, I try my best to tell the simplest phrase that you can pronounce it. So, mən Azərbaycanı sevirəm.
Okay, can you please go a little bit slowly so that I can understand a little bit better?
So, I repeat this phrase once again. Mən Azərbaycanı sevirəm.
Okay, I'll try to pronounce it first. So, Jala, you said Mənim Azərbaycanın sevirəm. I hope that's the right pronunciation. Now over to you, Virginia. Let us hear your pronunciation.
Mən Azərbaycanı sevirəm.
Okay, that sounds pretty apt, I hope. Now, please tell us, what does it mean, Sabina?
This sentence means I love Azerbaijan.
Okay, that's great. That's a very good starting for our podcast. Now, Virginia, please go on with other questions. Thank you, Sabina.
Okay, Jala, tell us, what are the origins of your beautiful language?
What a nice question indeed, and thank you for asking this type of question. Azerbaijani language is a Turkic language spoken primarily by the Azerbaijani people who live mainly in the Republic of Azerbaijan, where the North Azerbaijani variety is spoken, and the Azerbaijan region of Iran, where the South Azerbaijani variety is spoken. Both Azerbaijani varieties are members of the old branch of the Turkic language. And since the Republic of Azerbaijan's independence from the USSR Soviet Union in 1991, Northern Azerbaijani uses the Latin script, and Azerbaijan as a whole country is one and only republic in the South Caucasus region that uses the Latin script. So Azerbaijani language is one of the ancient Turkic languages in the world, and it's so beautiful with its delicately pronounced words.
That's such a brilliant explanation, Jala. Thank you so much. But now I'm intrigued. Sabina, you this time. Can you please suggest one or two songs that represent both your country's language and your culture?
Let me think. I suggest the famous song Chai, which translates as tea to English. It's a nice rhythmic song, and it also represents an important part of our culture, the tea culture. We Azerbaijanis are known as great tea lovers and tea producers. We have special tea drinking ceremonies where tea is served in traditional armudu cups, and armudu means pear-shaped cups.
Thank you for that, Sabina. An interesting information and such an interesting title of a song. If you would let me, I would like to add that also in India we refer to tea as chai. So I love to see the fact that we have a linkage between these two countries, although far away. And yeah, I'm kind of happy to see this. This means that the whole world is sort of connected to each other, and this is actually the aim of the podcast. Anyhow, for the listener, if you would like to listen to the song just cited from Sabina, you can find the link in the bio or description of the podcast.
Robin, you touched upon culture. I have a follow-up question for both of you. What about festivities? Which are your main ones?
Great question about festivals. So, before the pandemic, we used to have great festivals across the country for the Novruz holiday. Novruz is a spring holiday, so we celebrate the awakening of nature after winter. And there is a range of traditions like coloring eggs, setting bonfires, jumping over them, eavesdropping, cooking traditional symbolic sweets, and many others. So we would have fun activities, concerts, and markets set on streets for the festival. Unfortunately, these last years we didn't celebrate properly, and I hope next year pandemic will allow us to do it.
Thank you for that, Sabina. I think also on this point we can come to the conclusion that the world here once again sees itself connected due to the pandemic. I think the pandemic is and was one of the reasons why many festivity all around the world, and as you mentioned in Azerbaijan, festivity would not take place. And that's such a sad thing because this is where the community comes together. But I'd love to come to this point. What are some of the must-see places in Azerbaijan? Please, Jala, tell us.
Actually, there are many must-see places in Azerbaijan, but I guess I'm going to choose some of them because, as I said before, there are so many. Let's start with the capital city, Baku. The first and the foremost one for sure is the old city, which is surrounded by the walls, which were easily defended in old times and the Middle Ages. Old city or inner city is the historical core of Azerbaijan, and in the year of 2000, with Maiden Tower and Palace of Shirvanshahs, that are also located in Baku, became the first location in Azerbaijan to be classified as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. So besides that, Azerbaijan is a very rich country with its mud volcanoes and the first country in the world with the abundance of this type of volcanoes. Overall, Azerbaijan is a unique country and worth visiting. And I would advise you to put Azerbaijan into your travel bucket list and travel this country as soon as possible.
Whoa, that sounds amazing. I mean, great and brilliant. Thank you so much, Jala, for such a great explanation. You both girls have a beautiful country, and I wish I could come now and visit all the sites that have been cited before. Okay, so now I have another question for you girls. Tell me, what is the thing that you love the most about your country? Obviously, apart from the beautiful cities.
Honestly, I really love the people here. Indeed, if you travel, you will witness it yourself. People are very hospitable, and we're proudly known for this. Like, no one feels unattended here, even when traveling absolutely alone. People will always treat you with love and care, and we love to offer our help. We're very sincere and will always offer our house to stay over, or will always share our food. So we love building empathy with people, even if we don't know them, and we love bonding together.
Great. Thank you for that, Sabina. Such a great answer. Now, what about you, Jala? Tell us.
What a nice question indeed, and thank you asking for this type of questions. On this subject, I totally agree with Sabina. I think there are three main things that I love most about Azerbaijan and its people. The first one would be connected for sure Azerbaijani people. Azerbaijani people are so tolerant and hospitable people. They always welcome foreigners and foreign tourists who would visit Azerbaijan and its ancient historical cores in Baku or in other sites of Azerbaijan. The second one would be about Azerbaijani cuisine. Azerbaijani cuisine is one of the best in the world. So I guess I'm going to choose the three major ones and the most delicious ones. The first one would be ashplov. For me, it's a traditional rice meal that's prepared mainly on the eve of Nowruz holiday, our national holiday. The second one would be for me dolma, with different types of dolma, but we mainly use the grape leaves stuffed with meat. And the third one would be kebabs. I mean kebabs, or there are different types of kebabs, but lula is the best one and delicious one. Make sure to try them. So the third one, from my point of view, as a country, Azerbaijan is where the tradition meets modernity. Azerbaijani people have traditional values, but they are modern people as well. They are actually cultured people as well.
My dear, I'm booking a flight tomorrow. What should I eat once I get there?
Well, it depends what time you come. If you're looking for a nice breakfast, make sure you try the tomato and egg dish. This is our traditional dish. It's very juicy and can be a little bit sour. Make sure to accompany it with our tea in a traditional cup that I mentioned earlier, the armudu cup. But if you are here for a dinner, get yourself ready for a big portion, first of all, and for heavy food because we love eating. You will find lots of meat in most of our dishes. We're known for yummy shahplov. You know, it's a traditionally cooked rice. And for dolma, several types of dolma. It can be vegetables stuffed with minced meat, or it can be minced meat covered in grape leaves. So there are different versions of them. So make sure you try these. There is so much more actually to try. You cannot finish it all in one visit. So please come many times.
Oh, food! I am Italian and food plays a big role in my country. Let's talk about food. I'm very interested to know if food is an important cultural aspect for Azerbaijani people.
Yes, absolutely. Food is definitely the integral part of our culture because it's not only about eating the food. It's mostly about how we spend time together with our family or with our friends, how we discuss important matters while sitting at the table. or we celebrate important occasions together and just having some leisure time with others. So, yeah, the food culture is very important for us.
Well, Sabina and Jala, now I'm sending over as soon as I can my home address so you can send me some typical food from Azerbaijan. I'm really getting hungry now, apart from jokes. But obviously, if you want to send some, I would definitely welcome that. Anyways, tell us another question, an important question, I guess. Art. Let's talk about art. Tell us more about what is the role of art in the Azerbaijani culture.
As I said before, Azerbaijan is a very historic country, and art has been very crucial to Azerbaijani people since very old times. Azerbaijani rugs are well known for their decorative patterns and were sold in neighboring countries in the Middle Age times. So, moreover, miniature painting and easel painting were trendy art type for Azerbaijani people at that time. So, as for modern times, we can mention names of several famous painters and artists such as Tahir Salahov, Toğrul Narimanbeyov, Settar Behzadeh, etc., that have contributed to the Azerbaijani art a lot. So,
Wow, I really feel dumb now. I really need to look about art in Azerbaijan. I'll start today, honestly. And coming from Italy, I guess it's a very important part for the human development. It actually portrays lifestyles, epoch, periods of history. So yeah, I really second to whatever you said, Jala. Thank you for that. I would like to quickly go to our last part of our podcast and ask you a very important question. What are the EU relations with Azerbaijan currently? Sabina, please.
Yes, sure. I think we established a very trustful and fruitful cooperation with the EU. I love how we strive in all possible ways, economically, financial collaborations, mutually beneficial contracts, and many others. One of the extensive collaboration areas is educational, where we founded amazing relations via study programs. More and more students are granted a chance to study in different EU countries. And you know what's great about it is that we're taking Azerbaijani culture to Europe and we're learning the EU values on our own in the Europe destination. I think we were having a win-win cooperation with EU, so it's beneficial for both sides.
Super interesting. And how do you think the EU affects Azerbaijan?
For me, there is always mutual impact deriving from what Sabine called already fruitful and trustful cooperation between Azerbaijan and the European Union. By creating collaboration with Azerbaijan, the European Union gains a reliable partner country in terms of political, economical, and social power. In its turn, Azerbaijan as a whole country has a huge chance to take European values, which are strongly connected to human beings and their well-being. It's something priceless for all of us, actually.
Coming to the end of our podcast, as Jala and Sabina may know, in our podcast we ask a question to all of our guests. Would you say that you feel European at heart? And what does this mean for you? Sabina, would you like to start?
For me, belonging somewhere at heart is not about where you were born or where you were raised or what's your nationality. It's more about the unity that you have. It's about the tolerance that you express, and it's about the values that you share with other people around you. So if you question me and if you consider this, then yes, I am European at heart.
Yes, Sabina, I agree on whatever you said. I think you're very right when you say that we need unity, and I think we need unity more than ever. But now I would like to shift to Jala. Jala, what is your answer about this question?
Here I can take as an example the European Union's motto, united in diversity. I think it would be an ideal fit when describing European at heart. We can all be diverse, nevertheless, we are already united in a good manner by European values, because after all, we are all human beings and our main goal is to provide better future for everyone, including our next generation. So I am European at heart as well.
Wow, girls, these answers are amazing and super interesting. I actually commend everything you said, and I do agree.
I stand with you, Virginia, to say thank you, a huge thank you to Jala and Sabina. Now, before ending, is there anybody between you, Jala and Sabina, who wants to say anything?
Thank you so much, guys, for the questions, and I hope to see you soon in Azerbaijan. Bye bye.
Thank you for that, Sabina. Honestly, I can assure you that both my colleagues and I will be more than happy to come over to Azerbaijan and meet our counterparts over there. And I would like to say a huge thank you to Jala and Sabina for their great participation to this podcast. But before ending this podcast, I would like to ask to you, Virginia, what does make you think when I say European at heart?
When I hear the phrase Europeans at heart, I feel like Europe is not just a physical or geographical entity, but more so a community of values, ideas, perspectives that we can all share, all the people who commit to human rights, to freedom of speech, to respect of the rule of law. We all can be part of this amazing community that is Europe.
Great, Virginia. Thank you for your answer. Now, I would like to thank our listeners as well. Thank you for listening to this podcast. And if you haven't, please go and check out our previous podcasts as well. Please do share this episode with your European friends and please subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much.